something. Easter. What is that? Why does it come a different time every year? If it's your birthday, every year, same date, you say this is the day I was born. If you're celebrating the way somebody died, or the day they died, every year around the same time you go to the grave, put a flower on the grave because it don't change. If it was March the 16th, it's March the 16th next year. How come Easter is different every year? What are you celebrating? Well, I'm celebrating. What? I'm celebrating the rise of Jesus Christ. When did he rise? I don't know. What day was it? All I know is on a Friday, a Good Friday, they crucified my Lord, and early on Sunday morning, he rose up. Stop right there. Did you say he was in the grave? How long? 3 days. Well, count with me. Count. If he died on Friday, and he died in the 11th hour on Friday, and then rose early on Sunday morning, count with me. How many days, how many hours is that? Why do you celebrate Easter with new garments? Why is there Easter egg roll? A bunny giving you chicken eggs. What's that got to do with Jesus? Come on, let's talk. Happy Easter, everybody. This is going to be the best Easter you ever had. The reason that it comes at a different time every year, because it has nothing to do with the Son of God. It has something to do with the Son and its relationship to the earth. And every year, what is called the vernal equinox, when the days and the nights are equal in length, that means that the earth is in a certain position relative to the sun. And at that point, the pagans used to have a big time. The goddess of fertility, the goddess of fecundity, the goddess of love, Astarte. From the word Astarte, you get Easter. It's not mentioned in the Bible one time. Easter. Why Astarte? Because when the earth is in a position relative to the sun, where the days and the nights are equal in length, that means that winter is passing, and the death that comes with winter, meaning the earth freezes in the temperate zones. Water freezes because the temperature drops below 32. And since water is the essence of life, then the earth dies. The trees lose their leaves. The leaves fall. and die. But when we have a vernal equinox, and the days are equally as long as the nights, it is a sign that spring has come, and the earth after its death will rise again, and the roses will bloom, and the lilies will come forth. And so during Easter, you will have lilies in the church. Why a lily? Because a lily grows up out of silt. And silt is the deposit of debris. But when the silt gives birth to this beautiful flower of spring, he's called the lily of the valley. It's talking about a man, a real live human being that will grow up from dirty surroundings. But he will be the rose of Sharon, meaning that he will have a thorny path. But when he buds and blossoms, he will be the most beautiful of all human beings. But he's a human being. Easter. And so the old pagans would put flowers, the first flowers of spring, in their hair. And so today you have Easter bonnets that are made of flowery things, you see. That's paganism. It has nothing to do with Jesus Christ. But let's go on. Happy Easter, everybody. And as the earth looks like it has a new garment on in spring, because the trees are clothed now with buds that blossom, and now the naked tree of winter, is clothed with the beautiful green leaves of spring. The brown dry grass gets a coat of green, and in the air the birds begin to sing, and we seem to have a new spring in our steps, because the death of winter has passed and spring has sprung, and life has come up where there was death, and life has replaced death. So the early pagans began to have orgies because they felt it was the time of love. When the sap starts rising in the tree, they figured the love bug would bite the human being, and like the animals would be in heat in a particular season, the human being would be in heat in the spring. And so men and women would mate in orgies, worshiping the goddess of fertility. And so when Christianity became the religion of Rome under Constantine, in order to attract the pagan mind to the new religion, he had to adapt the new religion to the old pagan way, to make the new religion more palatable and to make it more attractive to the pagan mind. So instead of worshiping the sun, they translated messenger and a light-giving sun as the Son, S-O-N, of God. And then they gave the Son of God the properties of God. This is very interesting, see? And they celebrated his crucifixion. They tied it in to the season of the vernal equinox. And this is why every year Easter comes different, because you're not really celebrating the rise of Jesus. You're celebrating the changeover from winter into spring. And as the earth is clothed garment. So the Jews and other merchants have waxed rich trying to sell you new clothes. So it became a tradition at Easter that you had to buy a new dress, and particularly a new bonnet. And on Easter Sunday, you would have communion, and you would make it your business to go to church on Easter, not to worship God, but to show off your new clothes. Look what I got for Easter. So after they wiped you out for Christmas, celebrating the birth of Jesus, then they really finish you off at Easter, celebrating the rise of Jesus from death. But all of it has wonderful meaning. But the theologians and the scholars would not teach you the meaning. It was not until God came in person, He who is the light, He who is the truth, He who has power to say be and bring His word into reality. When He came, all mystery was finished. And He chose a foolish people and ignorant people, that the wisdom of God would rise from among a people that were no people at all, styled in the scriptures as the dead. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to us that Jesus rising from the dead means that the knowledge and wisdom and spirit of God rose up in the last days from among a dead people. It has two other meanings, maybe many more, but I'm going to give you the two or three that I know from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and we'll go on from there. Y'all all right? That Allah is God. He brings forth the dead from the living, and He brings forth the living from the dead. Lord, what a God. What does that mean? See, a white folk, even though their world is considered death, they are considered alive mentally, because the wise among them know God, and the wise among them know the time, and the wise among them know you. The wise among them know your history, and the wise among them work to keep you ignorant, so you and your children and your children's children will continue to be servants of theirs. The wise white people have great knowledge of your future, and they have worked night and day to keep you blind. But the coming of God is to take away the veil of mystery from God and from the truth and from His people. Jesus rose from the dead. He brings forth the living or the dead from the living. Man. And He brings forth the living from the dead. We are a dead people. But from among a dead people, He brought forth life. And from among a living people, alive mentally, Caucasian, He brings the dead. If you take it in another way, the white man is death. He's alive mentally, but his world is considered death because